ANC has slammed Democratic Alliance's demands to be granted 11 cabinet positions, including the role of deputy president in the proposed government of national unity. This follows the DA's federal chair, Helen Zille, sending a letter to ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula stating that her party was seeking 11 ministerial and deputy ministerial posts within the GNU. So far, 10 parties, including the ANC, DA, IFP, PA, FF+, UDM, Rise Nzanzi, Al-Jama, PAC, and Good, have assented to the GNU deal. The ANC resorted to proposing the formation of a government of national unity after failing to secure a majority of over 50% in parliament, managing only 40% of the national vote in the May 29, 2024 elections. Joining us on the news from Gauteng is in South Africa to discuss this is a political analyst, Sandile Swana. Hello, Sandile. Thank you so much for joining us at this time.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so the biggest parties in the government of national unity continue to have, public spats over conditions of this particular marriage. We've seen on social media a letter from the DA circulating. What are your thoughts on that?
The letter that is circulating confirms that there are sharp differences of opinion between the DA specifically and the ANC about how seats in the cabinet, the executive arm of government, should be allocated.
Okay. All right. So DA also wants a proportional representation, while the ANC says it's an ANC-led government of national unity. With DA demanding key posts like that of deputy president, and other posts like up to 11 cabinet members. Now, but do you see ANC giving into this?
Not necessarily in the manner that the DA has. For a fact, our records in the country show that in every province, for instance, where a need like this arose, the party with the largest vote would lead the formation of government. That has been our tradition here in South Africa. In this instance, the ANC has the largest vote, almost double those of the DA in actual fact. So it needs to lead that. And on top of that, legally, our law says it is the prerogative, in other words, the exclusive right of the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, to appoint the cabinet as he sees fit. And lastly, the DA only got 20% of the vote, about 22% of the vote. Therefore, if the cabinet is a given number, they cannot get more than the 20% that they actually got in the elections. And there are different interpretations of that as well. Okay. So the ANC so far is not going to give them what they want.
Okay, actually have, some mediums actually saying that the DA is the major opposition, at the moment. But then, since they're running, a government together of national unity, do you think that the ANC might be regretting right now bringing the DA on board instead of, progressive parties?
Yes, there were risks from the start, and those risks are manifesting now. And certainly here in Gauteng, where we are, the premier of this province has indicated clearly that he's sick and tired of negotiating with the DA. So the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has asked him to hold back a little bit. But here in Gauteng, the premier can actually set up a government without the DA. Just as much as Cyril Ramaphosa is fully capable of setting up a government without the DA, the ANC does not need to depend on the DA at all.
All right. Now, Sandile, while we're still talking about, regrets, so far, 10 political parties have actually joined the GNU, that's the Government of National Unity. Is this not too big a number for the president to control later on, because each of them have their own demands and also their policies?
Yeah, first of all, the reason why you have so many parties is the tradition of the ANC. You'll remember that around 1983, the ANC instigated the formation of the United Democratic Front. That had more than 500 organizations making it up. And it was well coordinated across the country and successfully opposed the apartheid regime. So the ANC is very used to working in very large coalitions in terms of their history and culture. So the number 10 to them is not a very big number. However, there needs to be a transition from that to say, if I have 30 ministers and their deputies, each person must know their job and work on it and report to the president. And that should not be a terribly difficult task, except if the advice of the DA is followed, which the DA thinks that every person who gets a portfolio must only implement their party manifesto. That will be chaos. So the advice of the DA is actually wrong.
Okay. Well, we'll wait to see how all of this turns out. But thank you so much, Mr. Swana, for joining us and speaking to us on this.
Thank you.